Hello everyone and welcome to the Green Man channel. Hope you're doing good and well. So it's time for a new album review this Friday, and I'm talking about the fifth solo studio album from the electronic artist known as Zanias. This is her release Cataclysm, which came out just yesterday on the 23rd of October via Fleisch Records, and the album is 10 tracks and around about 47 minutes in length. So I came to discover Zanias through her 2023 release Chrysalis, which I really thoroughly enjoyed. I love the moody synth sound. And I really enjoyed Zanias' own captivating vocals on that record too, which made me want to check out more of her stuff, having a taste for this kind of music, but also realising I really liked the authenticity of her vocals. So I went on to discover more of her solo studio albums, and then I went on to discover that she was one half of an electronic duo known as Linea Aspera, which if you're checking out this video, maybe you know Linea Aspera, so maybe that's where you're checking this review out. And I realised I really liked them as well and what she'd done in that project too. So I was just super excited about this latest release, this Cataclysm album, and had to check it out immediately upon its release. And this is a more personal album from Zanias. It's also more politically charged. Now, sometimes when artists take this route, I feel like, they put so much focus on the messaging of the record that it can have a counterproductive effect on the music. But I didn't feel like this happens here. I feel like Zanias has done a really good job of getting the messaging across and the lyricism of this record without it impacting the music in a negative way. I still feel like the music is as captivating as it usually is in a Zanias involved record. It's still as good as usual, but the messaging also is well done within the music. It makes you think, when you listen to the lyrics, it does make you think about what she's singing and what she's saying behind the song. Because the music's also good, you don't lose that engagement. You don't lose that sense of engagement either. And I thought she did that really well on this album. And there's another thing I like is that she combines the sort of retro sound, something she's done, I think, on other records as well. She's kind of, her albums have this retro flavour to them, but she does the modern styles well too, like the little modern electro touches and the sort of hyper pop elements, I suppose you might call them. That I also like the way she sort of adds those into the music without losing her own signature sound. So I'm going into the Bandcamp description here of this album, but I'm only quoting parts of it, not the whole paragraph. I think this is just one part of it. So the subject matter grapples with how to move forward through times when civilization and the entire ecosystem of the planet feel like they're on the brink of total collapse, while gazing back over hundreds of thousands of years of human survival in total awe of how far we've come. So that's sort of just a brief summary of what she's touching on this album. So let's go into some of the songs on this record. Let's start with the awesome title track Cataclysm, which I feel like is basically a Zanias tour de force with moody verses and a really big epic chorus, momentous chorus, where she sings, "How can the hours disappear like they do when I'm with you?" A real highlight on the record for me. One of my favourite songs. It was also the first single, I think, advanced single for the album too. I really love that track. Naiad goes is the second song, and that goes quite hard on this sort of industrial and drum and bass side of things, but really great layering on this track, a more up-tempo track, and a great contrast to the opening song Cataclysm for me as well. And I also really enjoy the theme of this song, the subject matter, which is Zanias is kind of embodying, like she's seeing things through the view of a water spirit, and how water is abused as a resource in the same sort of way that women have been abused as well and are still abused. And I feel like she's kind of making that comparison thematically here with this song and doing it very, very well. Ghostbird features a number of electronic layers and more experimental touches as well. I sometimes feel there's almost like this one gets a little bit on the over-adventurous side for my own taste, where she's adding in all sorts of other electronic tweaks. But, it still does pretty well with what it does, I think, on the whole. But for me, that song probably wasn't one of my favourites on the album. Dawn is another anthemic, very memorable song with another big chorus that I enjoyed, and another one with sort of some political messaging against authoritarianism. And I really enjoyed this particular song on the album as well, one of the more memorable ones for me on the album that I kind of go away from the album remembering. It's one of the ones that sticks out, certainly for me. I also enjoyed a couple of tracks towards the back end of the album, like Human, A little bit of a 90s dance element to that song, and Happy Endings was a good one as well. But the thing for me with Happy Endings that I found I couldn't quite work out, for me, I was expecting like a really epic climax, and there was like a couple of epic moments in the song, but I kind of wanted it to get even more epic. There was something that was teasing me about that track, and I feel like almost like I didn't quite feel as satisfied by the end as I quite wanted to personally. But saying that, it was still a pretty cool track, and I liked the sort of dancey vibes to finish the album. Overall, I think it's a really strong record from Zanias. As an album, actually, I think maybe it is slightly better than Chrysalis in terms of its ambitiousness, its expansiveness, its content, its themes, and the messaging. I feel like this is an even stronger album than that. Sound-wise, maybe me, myself, I possibly slightly prefer Chrysalis, but saying that, I totally appreciate what she's done here, and I still really thoroughly enjoyed it. I think this album is a great record. Thoroughly recommend you check this out for those of you that love this kind of electronic style. Synthwave, dark wave, industrial, all those different varieties of the electronic subgenres. You're probably going to like this album. So for me, I'm giving this one an 8.5 out of 10. And yeah, let me know what you thought of this one in the comments, guys. Always interested to hear your thoughts on these records. Otherwise, from me, till next time on The Green Man, it's bye for now.